In the neon-lit megacity of Nitro, where skyscrapers scraped the clouds and hover cars zoomed through the sky, lived a hare named Speedy. He was the fastest creature in Nitro. Speedy had a sleek, aerodynamic body, lightning-fast reflexes, and could outrun any vehicle, pedestrian, or flying beast. He loved showing off his skills, zooming through the crowded streets, dodging pedestrians, and zipping past food stalls without even slowing down. One day while Speedy was showing off his skills, he bumped into someone who wasn't exactly thrilled to see him. It was Shelly the Tortoise. She was known for her calm demeanor and steady pace. Despite her unassuming appearance, Shelly was renowned throughout Nitro City for her wisdom and problem-solving skills. She always seemed to have the right answer, the perfect solution to every complex problem. Speedy, who thought he was the smartest and coolest guy around, couldn't understand why everyone listened to Shelly. He decided to put her wisdom to the test. "Hey, Shelly, you're so smart, right? Why don't you participate in the upcoming grand race? I'll show you what real speed is all about." Speedy challenged her, thinking it would humiliate her. But Shelly surprised him by accepting the challenge. "All right, Speedy, let's race." At the starting line, all eyes were on them. The grand race was Nitro City's most exciting event, a test not just of speed, but of wit and resilience. The course was designed to push the competitors to their limits with twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. The starting gun fired and Speedy shot off like an arrow. He zoomed past the other racers, including Shelly, who started off at her usual slow pace. The crowd gasped as Speedy reached the first checkpoint, then the second one, leaving everyone else far behind. Shelly, meanwhile, had barely made it past the first few meters. As Speedy approached the finish line, he slowed down, savoring the cheers of the crowd. But soon his smug grin faded. There was no finish line. Speedy had fallen for one of Shelly's tricks. She had switched the finish line to the starting line, making him run the whole course again. Determined to make it to the end this time, Speedy started running, but quickly realized that his initial burst of speed had taken its toll. His legs burned, his breath grew ragged, and his cool confidence was long gone. Meanwhile, Shelly continued at her steady pace, overtaking one racer after another. Up ahead, Speedy encountered a wall. The path was blocked, forcing him to find an alternate route. He dashed across a narrow bridge, then squeezed through a tiny opening in some crates. Emerging on the other side, he saw a maze with multiple paths leading out. Speedy panicked. Which way to go? He ran down one path, then turned back when he hit a dead end. Just then, a helpful squirrel pointed him in the right direction. "Go straight ahead," she said, "and then take the third path on the left." Relieved, Speedy thanked her and ran off. Meanwhile, Shelly came across the wall, calmly assessed the situation and carried on, finding another way around. As Speedy made his way through the maze, he noticed that several racers were already waiting for him at the next checkpoint. They had taken the same route as him and were now recovering from their own confusion. But Speedy didn't have time to rest. He needed to keep going if he wanted to win. Ahead, he spotted a river with a broken bridge over it. The only way across was to use one of the 3 makeshift rafts floating in the water. But each raft could hold a maximum of 2 racers. Speedy hesitated, unsure what to do. Suddenly, a group of rabbits hopped past, riding on a double raft. "Hurry up, Slowpoke," they taunted, "or you'll never catch us." Speedy raced toward the rabbits and jumped onto their raft. But his victory was short-lived. The rabbits pushed him off the raft, sending him into the river. Drenched and furious, Speedy swam to the opposite bank and raced after the rabbits. Up ahead, he found a clearing with a series of platforms connected by narrow bridges. The racers had to jump from platform to platform without falling into the pit below. One by one, the racers made it across, but Speedy tripped on the last bridge and fell into the pit. Disoriented and bruised, he climbed out, only to find himself in a large chamber filled with a thick fog. Lost and confused, he stumbled forward, hoping to find the exit. Meanwhile, Shelley calmly made her way through the level, her steady pace allowing her to navigate the obstacles without any problems. She reached the final stretch, a long tunnel leading to the finish line. As she crawled through, she heard the cheers of the crowd. She had won. Disappointed but determined, Speedy finally found the exit. He raced back to the finish line, but it was too late. Shelley was already celebrating with the crowd. Feeling humiliated and exhausted, he slumped down on a nearby bench. Just then, Shelley approached him, a warm smile on her face. "Good try, Speedy," she said. "You almost had me there." Speedy couldn't help but smile back. He had to admit, Shelley had bested him fair and square. As the crowd began to disperse, Speedy went up to Shelley. "Hey, I wanted to apologize for doubting your wisdom and for making fun of you. You've taught me that sometimes being slow and steady is better than being fast and reckless." Shelley smiled. "It's all right, Speedy. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. The important thing is to learn from each other." But just as they were talking, the ground beneath them rumbled violently. A giant crab monster with sharp pincers and glowing red eyes emerged from the crowd. Its pincers snapped together menacingly. "I am Crabulon, the Destroyer," it boomed. "And I challenge you, Shelley the Tortoise, to a battle of wits. If you win, I will leave Nitro City. But if I win, you will become my slave." All the racers gasped. They knew Crabulon's reputation as a ruthless conqueror who had destroyed countless cities. Shelley was their only hope, but how could she possibly defeat such a powerful monster? Thinking quickly, Shelley called out, "All right, Crabulon, let's battle. But I want to make a few things clear. I don't accept physical challenges, so no brute force or sword fighting. Our battle will be decided based on our intellect. Are you ready?" Crabula scoffed, believing himself to be the smarter one. "Bring it on, Tortoise." He confidently asked the first question. "What is bigger, the Grand Canyon or the Rocky Mountains?" Shelley answered without hesitation, "The Rocky Mountains are bigger." Crabulon narrowed his eyes, annoyed at getting the first question wrong. "Okay, next question. What has an eye but cannot see?" "A needle," said Shelley. Crabulon slammed his pincer down in frustration. "All right, last chance. What has to break before it can be fixed?" "An egg," replied Shelley. Overwhelmed with rage, Crabulon lunged for Shelley, but she dodged his attack, causing him to crash into a nearby building. "You may have outsmarted me this time, Shelley, but I will get you next time," he vowed before disappearing into the rubble. The crowd erupted in cheers, hailing Shelley as their hero. But as the cheers died down, Speedy approached her. "Shelley, you're amazing. You saved us all. But how did you know those answers?" Shelley smiled mysteriously. "I have my ways, Speedy. Sometimes knowing when to be slow and steady and when to be quick and clever is all about observation and experience. You might be the fastest guy in town, Speedy, but being wise is knowing when to use your speed wisely." Speedy nodded, understanding her words. Then both of them looked towards the horizon as they heard the faint rumble of Crabulon's return. With a determined look on her face, Shelley said, "Next time, we need to step up our game." And with that, the two unlikely friends set off to prepare for Crabulon's inevitable return, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. So remember, friends, being slow and steady doesn't always mean being weak. And being fast and strong doesn't guarantee victory. Sometimes being smart and patient can be the greatest strength of all.